Good morning. This is Mission Control Houston. Welcome and thank you for joining us for today's edition of ISS Update this Tuesday, March 20. You're now looking at a live view inside the International Space Station Flight Control Room, where the team here has been monitoring the systems aboard the station and supporting the day's activities of the Expedition 30 crew members. Leading the Orbit 2 team here in the Station Flight Control Room today is Flight Director Ron Spencer, shown here on the right-hand side in the dark blue shirt, and Mark Reagan, who is serving as Capcom. He is relaying all ground messages up to the crew. He's shown there on the left-hand side of your screen in the white shirt. On orbit, the 6 crew members, well into their busy workday aboard the station, include NASA astronaut and commander of the complex, Dan Burbank, and flight engineers and cosmonauts Anton Shkaplerov and Anatoly Ivanishin, as well as NASA astronaut Don Pettit, cosmonaut Oleg Kononenko, and European Space Agency astronaut Andrei Kuipers. Commander Burbank, Shkaplerov, and Ivanishin will complete 128 days of their planned 5.5 months in space today, while their Expedition 30 crewmates, Pettit, Kononenko, and Kuipers, close out today with 91 days in space. The space station with its crew aboard is now flying at an altitude of about 250 statute miles. The orbiting facility is making an east-northeastern track across the Indian Ocean, heading for a pass just across Australia. With a wake-up at 1 a.m. Central Time, the Expedition 30 crew members kicked off their day with the first of 2 daily planning conferences held with ground controllers at mission control centers around the world. That conference is scheduled to review the day's activities, discuss any issues, and also plan for the next set of tasks. Today, Station Commander Dan Burbank is conducting an air leak inspection of the onboard waste hygiene compartment. Meanwhile, flight engineers Don Pettit and Andrei Kuipers are working together on some cleanup work inside the permanent multi-purpose module. It's also known as Leonardo, or the space closet, that is used for extra storage aboard the International Space Station. Pettit also will spend some time later during today's ISS update loading some software and reconfiguring a laptop computer of the Express Rack 4. Andrei Kuipers will continue some maintenance work to the onboard water recovery system after he's replaced a recycle filter tank assembly just yesterday. And cosmonaut Anton Shkaplerov will perform his regular daily maintenance to the Russian life support system. He'll also then participate in a standard private medical conference. Earlier this morning aboard the International Space Station, Commander Burbank installed the high-rate communication system panel in the Destiny lab. The high-rate communication system panel will allow for 2 additional space-to-ground audio channels and also 2 additional downlink video channels. Burbank then completed his 2-hour daily exercise using the Advanced Resistive Exercise device and the onboard stationary bicycle. Flight engineer Don Pettit and Andrei Kuipers had conducted a periodic health exam, much like a standard medical checkup here on Earth, but no blood was drawn for today's evaluation. Pettit then collected and tested a water sample of the water processor assembly of the water recovery system. Kuipers spent a few hours today with cleanup activity of the permanent multi-purpose module, what he and Pettit are working on now, transferring some items from storage to its permanent space aboard the station. Cosmonaut Anatoly Ivanishin took some photos as part of a Russian study known as CNR that observes the world's oceans for bioproductive areas for the fishing industry. And also just before today's ISS update hour, Commander Burbank and Pettit took some time out to talk with the reporter with WVIT-TV of Hartford, Connecticut. And at the end of the day, each crew member will have participated in his daily 2-hour exercise to maintain their physical fitness and help mitigate the negative effects of microgravity on their bodies. Commander Burbank will continue that maintenance work of the water recovery system. The Expedition 30 crew will then participate in its final daily planning conference with ground controllers around the world before some evening prep work and entering its pre-sleep period. Everything remains on track for the launch of the European Space Agency's Ariane 5 rocket. Um, that rocket will be sending the third European Space Agency's automated transfer vehicle cargo ship up to the International Space Station. Launch is set for 11:34 p.m. Central Time Thursday night. The crew is scheduled to go to bed today at 3:30 p.m. Central Time. This is Mission Control Houston.